So, I am assuming that clicking on this video, you have already seen, part 3 itself. And if you haven't, then click off the video if you don't want to be spoiled by anything with it in part 3. And yeah, anyways, let's get into the video. So, my final thoughts on Canto 9. By far the best Canto by a huge, mile. Wait, I'm Canadian, so what the fuck is a mile? Canto 9 just showed us what we needed. We needed Sinclair to have his power up, and we've seen his power up happen. Granted, it's obviously, not gonna be it's not going to be his actual, future, but future in the sense of how, you know, we may not be able to see him again, but it's nice for that one little moment he was there. Gregor, with his potential, being reached, and apparently that's not even his full potential, as Harmon stated that she still has one gift that still hasn't been activated yet. And we have to talk about the main girl herself, Ryoshu, also known as Yoshihide. My goodness. What a character development she had to go through. She wanted to make sure that her daughter was alive, and then, we gotten her, but obviously, we d- we kind of basically had a sneaking suspicion, I guess, about what her daughter was, and well, she did what I thought she was gonna do. She, indeed, in fact, severed the thread that connects her to Araya. This obviously causes her to become a concept incinerator, which obviously erases both Ren and Sora. And so, luckily though, we were able to get her back to her senses thanks to, Dante's new sapling light ability and getting the temporary chain, and Arya now becoming part of Ryoshu's scabbard. And that final fight with Rien, I gotta say, I kind of was a little bit more disappointed compared to, the middle nurse father or even even the thumb nurse father. Heck, even the ring nurse father had a lot of stuff. But man, that hell screen background when obviously, the string gets severed and, you know, Ryoshu finally unsheathing that sword for the Forest of the Flames ego. That was just absolute cinema, and I don't know how Project Moon can top this Canto off. With Canto 10 obviously definitely coming out this year without a doubt. And so I think this Canto has been incredible. And it's become my new favorite Canto, which I mean, we always say this, right? We always have a favorite Canto as soon as one Canto gets released and another. But genuinely though, I think this Canto and Canto 6 definitely qualify for those that loved this Canto. Now granted, I loved Canto 8 more than I did with Canto 6, because I think Canto 8 actually did really well in terms of the pacing and all that stuff. But Canto 9 showed us that this is Project Moon. And that Millie song, let me tell you, bro, that Millie song was just cinema. This is what I loved about, a bit of a tangent, but it gave me like full on like Demon Slayer ending vibes, specifically ending 1. Because everyone remembers how, episode 19 of season 1 with Demon Slayer, and everyone goes ape shit of the animation. That, that to me is how I think Canto 9 is. Now, are people, like, gonna play Olympus more? No, I don't think so. Though, I still think this was, like, by far the best, like, Millie song they've ever produced. Like, within a Project Moon game. My favorite at the time was Through Patches of Violet. I wasn't really necessarily a huge fan of Hero, even though a lot of people loved it for the, the ending scene of Don Quixote in Canto 8. And, Tian Tian, despite, me bullying Grandma a lot, I still do think that Canto, like, 9 definitely had the best, use. And I'm just glad that, it was this type of, like, masterpiece that was conveyed here. Now, it's time to obviously move on to, the stream that I did because when I streamed, I didn't expect there to be like more than 10 to maybe possibly 20 people watching. And keep and look, I know it was also like just after maintenance period lifted, and also it was a Cloudflare issue that didn't allow the Steam users to get into the servers. But even then, I didn't expect that over 300 of you guys would turn into the stream and watch me witness the ending for Ryoshi's Canto. Like, seriously, I can't thank you guys enough. And I really can't thank anyone more else than Project Moon themselves, because Project Moon, if you're listening to this, that was like the best I've ever been excited for a Canto because Ryoshu's my favorite sinner out of the 12. And seriously, you guys did such an incredible job that I hope that, you know, you're taking your breaks. I'm sure that you guys are feeling a little bit like stressed on, how Canto 9 was going to become, but you guys did it flawlessly, and I really just can't thank you enough for this. That'll do it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hype up the video so it can obviously reach more people in the algorithm. And don't forget to join the Discord down below in the description. And yeah, till then, see ya.